Okay, let's set the scene. It's a nice, cool night, and the sky is full of twinkling stars. They look like little lights winking at me from way up high. I'm just a regular guy, let's call me Jake, and I'm hanging out in my backyard. I've got this little fire pit going, and it's making a fun crackling sound, like when you snap twigs with your hands. The fire's small, just enough to keep me warm and happy. The air smells like burning wood, kind of smoky and cozy, and I'm sitting there thinking, wow, this is the best night ever. I've got a comfy chair, a cold drink in my hand, and the world feels perfect. My backyard is quiet. It's in a neighborhood where houses sit close together, and everybody knows everybody. The grass is soft under my feet, and I can hear crickets chirping nearby. It's the kind of night where you just want to relax and forget about everything else. I'm smiling to myself, watching the tiny flames dance in the fire pit. They're orange and yellow, flickering like they're playing a game. I toss another stick in, and it pops a little, sending sparks up into the air. I lean back and take a deep breath. Life feels so good right now. But then, something catches my eye. Across the street, there's a house with big windows, and someone's watching me. It's my neighbor, Karen. Oh boy, here we go. Karen isn't just any neighbor, she's the HOA queen. HOA means Homeowners Association, which is like a group of people who make rules for the neighborhood. And Karen? She loves those rules more than anything. She thinks she's the boss of everyone. If you park your bike in the wrong spot or leave a toy on your lawn, she's right there, telling you what you did wrong. She's loud, bossy, and always ready to point her finger at somebody. Tonight, she's standing at her window, staring at me like I'm doing something terrible. Her arms are crossed, and her face looks mad, even from far away. I can see her curtains moving a little, like she's trying to hide but still peek out. She's like a hawk, a big bird that watches everything from up high, waiting to swoop down. I try to ignore her and just enjoy my fire. It's not a big deal, right? It's just a little fire pit, not a giant bonfire or anything crazy. I'm not bothering anyone. But deep down, I know Karen's not going to let this slide. She never does. Karen's the kind of person everyone in the neighborhood talks about. Did you hear what Karen did last week, they'll say. Like the time she yelled at Mr. Thompson for painting his mailbox blue. Or when she told little Sammy he couldn't ride his scooter on the sidewalk. She thinks she owns the whole block, not just her house. She walks around with her nose in the air, acting like she's better than everybody else. Me. I'm the opposite. I'm laid back. I like to keep things simple. I don't bother people, and I don't want people bothering me. All I want tonight is to sit by my fire and chill out. But here's the thing, Karen doesn't know something big. This night isn't going to go the way she thinks. It's about to flip upside down, like a pancake on a hot pan. Something's coming that's going to surprise her, and maybe even surprise you too. I'm just sitting there, looking at my fire, pretending I don't see her watching me. But inside, I'm ready for whatever's about to happen. The stars are still shining, the fire's still crackling, and the air feels a little thicker now, like something exciting is building up. Let's talk about my fire pit for a second. It's not huge, it's just a round metal thing, about as wide as a big pizza. I got it from the store because I thought it'd be fun to have little fires in my yard. I checked the rules, and guess what? It's totally okay to have one. I'm not breaking any laws or anything. I even keep a bucket of water nearby, just in case. I'm careful like that. But Karen? She doesn't care about facts. If she doesn't like something, she'll make a fuss anyway. And tonight, my fire pit is her target. I glance across the street again. Karen's still there, and now she's holding her phone. Uh-oh. That's never a good sign. She's probably texting someone, complaining about me already. Or maybe she's looking up HOA rules, trying to find something to use against me. I shake my head and laugh a little. She's so predictable. But what she doesn't know, what nobody knows yet, is that this night's going to turn into something wild. I've got a secret, a big one, and it's about to come out in the funniest way. The neighborhood's quiet, except for my fire and the crickets. A soft breeze blows through, making the flames wiggle a little. I take another sip of my drink and stretch my legs out. I'm not worried. Not yet. Karen can stare all she wants, I'm not doing anything wrong. But I can feel it in the air, trouble's brewing. It's like when you're watching a movie, and you know something big is about to happen, but you don't know what. That's how this night feels. Exciting. A little spooky. And definitely not boring. So, what do you think so far? Has a neighbor ever messed up your good time like that? Maybe someone who's always nosy or complaining? Tell me in the comments, I want to hear your stories. Oh, and stick around, because this is just the beginning. Karen's about to make her move, and when she does, everything's going to change. Where are you reading from today? Let me know below, and let's keep this story rolling. So, I'm still sitting in my backyard, chilling by my tiny fire pit. The flames are small, just little flickers of orange and yellow, no bigger than a candle you'd put on a birthday cake. The night is cool, the stars are out, and I'm feeling pretty good. But then, trouble shows up. Karen, my bossy neighbor, isn't happy. Not one bit. She's the HOA queen, remember? She loves rules more than candy, and right now, she's decided my fire pit is breaking one of her precious rules. All of a sudden, her front door flies open with a loud bang. Out she comes, stomping onto her porch like she's ready to fight a dragon. Her arms are crossed tight over her chest, and her face is all scrunched up, like she just ate a sour lemon. She stares right at me across the street and starts yelling so loud the whole neighborhood can hear. "That fire pit's against the rules, Jake," she shouts. "I'm calling 911. I blink at her, surprised. 911? For a little fire? I roll my eyes so hard I almost see the back of my head. This is silly. My fire's tiny. It's not hurting anyone. Plus, I checked, it's totally allowed. But Karen doesn't care about that. She's standing there on her porch, her voice sharp and loud, like a teacher scolding a kid who forgot their homework. "You're a danger to the neighborhood," she screeches, waving her arms like she's trying to shoo away a flock of birds. I can't help it, I laugh a little inside. A danger? Me? With my little fire pit that's barely warm enough to toast a marshmallow? She's acting like I'm setting the whole street on fire. I lean back in my chair and try to stay calm. "Karen, relax," I say, keeping my voice nice and easy. "It's fine." "Really?" But does she listen? Nope. Not even a little. Karen's already got her phone out. She's holding it up like it's a magic wand, tapping the screen fast with her finger. She's calling 911, for real. I watch her, my mouth open a tiny bit. Is she serious? I mean, 911 is for emergencies, like if your cat's stuck in a tree or your house is flooding. Not for a guy sitting by a small fire in his own yard. But Karen's on a mission. She's not just mad, she's out to make my night miserable. Her eyes are narrow, and she's muttering stuff under her breath, probably about how I'm the worst neighbor ever. I take a deep breath and look at my fire pit again. It's so small, just a circle of metal with a few sticks burning inside. The smoke's barely even there, just a thin wisp floating up into the sky. I've got a bucket of water right next to me, ready to pour if anything goes wrong. I'm being super safe. But Karen doesn't see that. She only sees what she wants to see, a chance to boss me around. She's like a kid who always has to be in charge of the game, even when nobody else wants to play. The air starts to feel different now. It's not just cool and starry anymore, it's getting tense, like when you're waiting for a big thunderclap during a storm. I can feel it building up around me. Karen's voice cuts through the quiet night, sharp and annoying, like a mosquito buzzing in your ear. "You'll see, Jake," she yells. "The police are going to shut this down." She's so sure of herself, standing there with her phone to her ear, talking fast to whoever's on the other end. I bet she's telling them I'm some big troublemaker, even though I'm just sitting here doing nothing wrong. I shake my head and sip my drink. It's cold and fizzy, and it helps me stay cool, even though Karen's trying to heat things up. I could yell back at her. I could tell her she's being ridiculous. But I don't. Why? Because I've got something up my sleeve, something she'd never guess in a million years. It's like a secret card in a game, one I'm saving for just the right moment. Karen thinks she's winning, but she doesn't know the whole story yet. And that makes me smile a little, even as she keeps shouting. The neighborhood's still quiet, except for Karen's big mouth. I can see a few lights flick on in other houses. Neighbors are probably peeking out their windows now, wondering what's going on. What's Karen mad about this time, they're probably thinking. She's famous around here for making a fuss. Like the time she told Mrs. Carter her flowers were too bright, or when she complained about the ice cream truck being too loud. She's always got something to say, and tonight, it's all about me and my fire pit. I try talking to her again. Karen, it's legal, I say, loud enough for her to hear. I check the rules. It's okay. But it's like talking to a wall. She just glares at me, her phone still pressed to her ear. Hello, yes, 911, she says, her voice all serious. There's a fire in my neighbor's yard. It's dangerous. I almost laugh out loud. Dangerous. The only danger here is Karen's temper. But she's not joking. She's really doing this, and I can't believe it. The tension keeps growing. It's like the air is buzzing now, waiting for something big to happen. Karen's pacing back and forth on her porch, her arms flapping as she talks. She's so worked up, she doesn't even notice how silly she looks. I sit there, watching her, feeling the storm coming closer. Not a real storm with rain and lightning, but a storm of trouble she's stirring up. She thinks she's got me trapped, like a cat cornering a mouse. But here's the thing, she doesn't know I'm not just any mouse. I've got a trick ready, and it's going to turn everything around. So, there I am, still calm, still sitting by my fire. Karen's loud and angry, trying to ruin my night. But I'm not scared. Not even a little. Why? Because I've got something she'd never expect, and it's going to make the story so much fun. The air's thick with excitement now, and I can feel it, something big is on the way. What do you think's going to happen next? Can you feel the tension too? Stick with me, because this is about to get really good. Okay, so I'm still chilling in my backyard, sitting by my little fire pit. The flames are tiny, just dancing quietly, and the night's cool and starry. I'm sipping my soda, it's cold and bubbly, tickling my nose with every sip. Everything feels nice and calm for me. But across the street, Karen's losing it. Minutes are ticking by, slow and steady, like the clock in your classroom when you're waiting for recess. And Karen? She's pacing back and forth on her porch, her shoes making loud clomp clomp sounds on the wood. She's got this big smirk on her face, like she's already won a prize. She thinks she's the champ, and I'm in trouble. Then I hear its sirens. They're far away at first, just a little wee-oh-oh-oh sound floating through the air. Yep, she really did it. Karen called the cops on my tiny fire pit. I shake my head and take another sip of my soda. My fire's still burning low, so small you could cover it with a plate. It's not a big deal at all. But Karen? She's acting like I'm some bad guy in a movie, lighting up the whole neighborhood. I'm not worried, though. I just sit there, cool as can be, watching the stars twinkle above me. Karen's pacing gets faster now. She's walking back and forth, like a dog waiting for its dinner. That smirk on her face? It's growing bigger. She thinks she's got me trapped. Then the sirens get louder, way louder. They're coming closer, and I can tell they're headed our way. The neighbors start noticing too. Lights flick on in houses up and down the street. Curtains move a little, and I see faces peeking out. People are whispering to each other, probably saying, "What's going on? What did Jake do?" I can almost hear them through their windows. The neighborhood's waking up, all because of Karen and her big fuss. She can't help herself, she yells again. "You're in big trouble now, Jake," she shouts, her voice loud and sharp, cutting through the night like a whistle. She's pointing at me from her porch, her finger wagging like she's scolding a naughty puppy. "The police are coming, and you're done for," she says, all proud and happy. I just look at her and shrug. Big trouble? Me? Nah. I'm not sweating it. Not even a tiny bit. Why? Because I've got a secret, a really good one. It's like a surprise present I haven't unwrapped yet, and Karen's about to trip right over it. She has no idea what's coming. The sirens are super loud now. They're so close, I can feel them in my chest, like when you stand near a big drum at a parade. Red lights start flashing down the street, bouncing off houses and trees. They're bright and spinning, painting everything with little bursts of color. Karen's grin stretches ear to ear, so wide it looks like her face might split in half. She's bouncing on her toes, clapping her hands a little, like she's watching her favorite team score a goal. "See? I told you," she yells at me. "You can't break the rules, Jake." She's so sure she's won. She thinks the cops are here to drag me away, maybe even put out my fire with a giant hose. Oh boy, is she wrong. I lean back in my chair and take another sip of my soda. The can's cold in my hand, and the bubbles fizz on my tongue. I'm still calm, still cool, like I'm watching a funny show on TV. The cop cars roll closer, their engines rumbling low and deep. The red lights flash brighter, and now I can see them turning down our street. Karen's practically dancing now, waving her arms like she's directing traffic. The neighbors are all watching, two heads poking out windows, shadows moving behind curtains. Everyone's waiting to see what happens next. It's like the whole street's holding its breath. Then it happens. The cop cars don't stop at Karen's house. They don't even slow down in the middle of the street. Nope. They turn right into my driveway. The tires crunch on the gravel, and the lights flash across my yard, making my fire pit glow all red and spooky for a second. Two big police cars park right there, just a few steps from where I'm sitting. Karen's grin freezes. Her mouth drops open a little, like she's confused. She wasn't expecting this. She thought the cops would jump out and yell at me, maybe even handcuff me. But they're in my driveway, and I'm still just sitting here, sipping my soda like it's no big deal. I can see her squinting at me from her porch, trying to figure it out. The sirens stop, and it's quiet again, except for the soft crackle of my fire. The red lights keep flashing, spinning slow and steady. Karen's not yelling anymore. She's just staring, her arms dropping to her sides. The neighbors are whispering louder now. I can hear little bits of their voices floating over. What's happening? Are the cops here for Jake? Did Karen call them? Everyone's curious, and the air feels thick, like something big is about to pop. Here's the kicker: I'm not scared at all. Not one bit. Why? Because this isn't what Karen thinks it is. She's smirking and shouting, thinking she's got me in a corner. But I've got a secret she's about to stumble right into, like tripping over a toy you didn't see on the floor. The cop cars are here, right in my driveway, and Karen's grin is starting to fade. She doesn't know it yet, but the tables are turning. Something's coming, something she'd never guess, and it's going to make her jaw drop even more. I set my soda down and stretch my legs out. The fire's still burning low, just a little glow in the dark. The cop cars sit there, lights flashing, engines off. Karen's watching, the neighbors are watching, and I'm just sitting. The night's getting wilder every second, and I can feel it. This is the moment where things start to change. Karen thinks she's the winner, but she's about to find out she's not even close. What's my secret? How come I'm so calm? Stick around, because the next part's going to be so much fun. So, there I am, sitting by my little fire pit in my backyard. The cop cars are parked in my driveway, their red lights flashing all over the place. The night's quiet except for the soft crackle of my tiny fire and the sound of crickets chirping. Karen's on her porch across the street, still thinking she's won. She's been yelling and calling me a troublemaker, and now the police are here. She's sure I'm in big trouble. Oh boy, is she wrong. Two officers step out of the cars. They're tall and wearing dark uniforms with shiny badges that catch the light. Their boots crunch on the gravel as they walk toward me. Karen sees them and starts practically dancing with glee. She's bouncing up and down on her porch, clapping her hands like she just won a prize at the fair. Arrest him, she yells, so loud it echoes down the street. She's pointing at me with her finger, wagging it like I'm some sneaky master criminal who just robbed a bank. Get him. He's breaking the rules, she shouts, her voice all high and excited. She's so happy, she can't stand still. I just sit there, my soda can in my hand, watching her. I don't say anything yet. I don't even move. The neighbors are still peeking out their windows, their faces pressed against the glass. Everyone's waiting to see what happens. Karen's grin is huge, like a cat that caught a mouse. She thinks the cops are here to drag me away, maybe even put out my fire with a big bucket of water. She's been waiting for this moment all night, ever since she saw my fire pit and decided to call 911. But then, something crazy happens. The two officers don't look mad. They don't pull out handcuffs or start yelling at me. Instead, they turn to me, and one of them smiles. "Hey, Jake, good to see you," he says, his voice all friendly and cheerful. The other one nods and adds, "Yeah, we were just swinging by." They're acting like we're old pals, like they stopped over to say hi on a sunny afternoon. Karen's dancing stops. Her arms freeze in the air, and her mouth drops open so wide I can see her teeth from my yard. I stand up slow and easy, brushing off my pants. I look at Karen and give her a big, goofy grin. She's staring at me, her eyes big and round, like she just saw a ghost. See, here's the thing she didn't know what nobody in the neighborhood knew. I'm not just Jake the fire pit guy, the regular dude who likes to sit by a little fire on a cool night. Nope. I'm Jake Donovan, and I'm an off-duty cop. That means I'm a police officer, but tonight's my night off. These two guys in uniforms. They're my buddies from the precinct, the place where I work. They weren't here because of Karen's 911 call. They were just stopping by to hang out with me. I take a step toward them, still grinning, and say, "Hey, good to see you too." My voice is calm and happy, like I'm welcoming friends to a picnic. Then I turn to Karen, who's still frozen on her porch, and I say, "Oh, didn't I mention? The cops were already here." I wink at her, just a little, and the look on her face? Oh man, it's priceless. Her jaw's hanging down, her eyes are popping out, and she looks like someone just told her the moon's made of cheese. She's so shocked, she can't even talk. No more yelling, no more pointing, just pure, total surprise. The neighbors start buzzing. I can hear gasps and whispers from all the windows. "Wait, Jake's a cop," someone says. "Those are his friends," another voice whispers. The street's alive with chatter now, like a bunch of bees waking up in their hive. Karen's standing there, her phone still in her hand, but she's not moving. She thought she called the police to get me in trouble, but the joke's on her, the police were already my pals. They didn't come because of her silly 911 call. They came because they wanted to chill with me by my fire pit. My buddies, the officers, walk over to my fire pit. "Nice setup, Jake," one of them says, looking at the little flames. "Got any extra soda?" the other one asks, laughing. I nod and point to a cooler by my chair. "Help yourselves," I say, still watching Karen out of the corner of my eye. She's turning red now, her face all hot and embarrassed. She's been yelling all night about how I'm a danger, how I'm breaking rules, but now she sees the truth. I'm not just some guy she can boss around, I'm a cop, and these cops are on my side. The air feels different now. It's not tense anymore, it's fun and exciting, like the best part of a movie where the hero wins. Karen's big plan to ruin my night? It's falling apart right in front of her. She thought she was so smart, calling 911 and acting like the queen of the neighborhood. But I've got the real power here, and I didn't even have to shout about it. My secret's out, and it's the best surprise ever. The look on her face is so funny, I almost laugh out loud. Almost. I sit back down by my fire pit, and my cop friends grab sodas from the cooler. They plop down in the grass next to me, their uniforms looking cool in the firelight. Karen's still on her porch, but she's not dancing anymore. She's not even pacing. She's just standing there, staring at us, her mouth still open like a fish out of water. The neighbors are giggling now, I can hear little laughs coming from the houses. Everyone's figuring it out, Karen messed with the wrong guy tonight. This is the big moment, the one where everything turns around. Karen thought she had me beat, but I had a secret up my sleeve the whole time. I'm Jake Donovan, off-duty cop, and these officers aren't here to arrest me, they're here to hang out. The fire's still crackling, the stars are still shining, and Karen's big victory? It's gone, poof, like smoke in the wind. What's she going to do now? She can't yell at the police when they're my friends. This night just got a whole lot better, and I'm loving every second of it. Okay, so the big surprise just happened. I'm Jake Donovan, an off-duty cop, and my police buddies showed up to hang out, not to arrest me. Karen's standing on her porch, her mouth wide open, totally shocked. She can't believe what's going on. She stammers, her voice all shaky, but, the fire pit. She's pointing at my little fire, still trying to act like she's right. She's so confused, it's like her brain got stuck. One of my cop friends, he's tall with a big grin, starts laughing. "Lady, it's legal," he says, his voice loud and clear. Chill out. He's shaking his head like Karen's being super silly. And she is. My fire pit's tiny and safe, and I checked the rules, it's totally okay. Karen's face turns red, bright red, like a juicy tomato you'd put on a sandwich. She's embarrassed now, big time. She starts mumbling stuff, little excuses like, well, I thought, it looked dangerous, but nobody's listening to her anymore. She's not the boss tonight. Slowly, Karen turns around. She's not yelling or pointing now. She slinks back to her house, her shoulders all droopy, like a puppy who got caught chewing a shoe. She opens her door, slips inside, and shuts it fast. Poof, she's gone. The neighbors, who've been watching from their windows this whole time, start cracking up. I hear giggles and laughs floating across the street. Take that, Karen, someone yells. A few even cheer, clapping their hands like they're at a game. They're happy she didn't win this time. I smile and grab another log from the pile next to me. It's a chunky piece of wood, rough in my hands. I toss it onto my fire pit, and the flames jump a little, crackling louder. The warm glow feels so nice. I look at my cop buddies and say, hey, want to join me? They nod, big smiles on their faces. Yeah, Jake, this looks fun, one says. They grab sodas from my cooler and sit down in the grass around the fire. We're all laughing and talking now, like it's a little party. Karen's reign of terror? It's over, at least for tonight. She's been bossing everyone around forever, but this time, she picked the wrong guy to mess with. I'm a cop, and my friends proved it. Now, I'm finally free to enjoy my night. The stars are shining, the fire's cozy, and the air smells like wood smoke and soda. It's perfect. The best part? Karen hasn't peeked out her window since she ran inside. Not once. I bet she's hiding, too embarrassed to show her face. Guess she learned not to mess with me again. Okay, so that was a wild night, right? Karen thought she was the big boss, yelling and calling the cops on my little fire pit. She was so loud, stomping around like she owned the whole neighborhood. But guess what? She didn't win. I did, without even raising my voice. And now, as I sit by my fire with my cop buddies, sipping soda and watching the flames dance, I'm thinking about something cool. Here's the thing, sometimes the loudest people think they've got all the power until they don't. Karen was loud, super loud. She shouted at me, pointed her finger, and acted like she could boss me around. She thought she had everything under control when she called 911. But me? I didn't need to yell or fight. I didn't jump up and argue or try to prove I was right. Nope. I just stayed calm, sipping my soda, letting my secret do the talking. And when my cop friends showed up not to arrest me, but to hang out, Karen's big plan fell apart. The truth came out, and it was way stronger than all her noise. I'm Jake Donovan, an off-duty cop, and that was my surprise. I didn't have to scream or get mad to win. I just let things happen, and Karen figured it out the hard way. Her face went red, she ran inside, and now she's probably hiding under a blanket, too embarrassed to peek out. It's funny, but it's also kind of cool to think about. You don't always need to be the loudest person in the room to be strong. Sometimes, staying cool and having a little secret up your sleeve is enough. So, here's something for you to think about. Next time someone tries to ruin your day, like a bully at school, a grumpy neighbor, or even a bossy kid on the playground, maybe you've got a surprise too. It doesn't have to be something big, like being a cop. Maybe it's just knowing you're right, or having a friend who's got your back, or being brave enough to stay calm when everyone else is freaking out. You don't have to yell or cry or fight. You can just wait, stay cool, and let them figure it out the hard way, just like Karen did. I'm looking at my fire pit now. The flames are small but bright, and my buddies are laughing next to me. The night's quiet again, and the stars are twinkling like they're happy for me. Karen thought she could take that away, but she couldn't. I won because I didn't let her get to me. And you can do that too. Maybe you've got a moment where you turn things around, where someone thought they had you beat, but you came out on top. Like when you ace a test someone said you'd fail, or when you make a friend after someone was mean to you. That's your power, and it's awesome. What do you think? Have you ever had a time where you turned the tables like that? Maybe a day when someone tried to mess with you, but you stayed chill and won in the end. Tell me about it in the comments. I want to hear your stories. You don't need to be loud to be strong. You just need to be you, and sometimes that's the biggest surprise of all. So next time someone's loud and bossy, just smile, stay cool, and let the truth do the talking. You might be the one grinning at the end, just like me.